Good evening again, everybody out there in YouTube and Facebook land. I'd like to welcome you to Dave Critchley's demonstration that he's going to be doing for us today. We've got an amazing day here at the Hospitality Action for the charity that we're doing it for, but we've got an amazing day behind the scenes also for the Northern Virtual Food and Drink Festival. It's been absolutely amazing. We appreciate everybody out there that's helped us put this together, and you guys out there in FB and YouTube land that have also kind of helped us along the way with this, with your fantastic comments to all the demonstrations during the day and watching all the different things that have been going on, and also donating to Hospitality Action. This is an absolutely massive thing that we're trying to push as much as we can, Hospitality Action, because they do so much to help so many of us in the hospitality industry. At times like this with the coronavirus and lockdown that's going on, but also in general. Absolutely amazing charity, and here's a little video about them.
Ollie Hoyle, Catering Manager.
Peter Molar, Doorman.
Ricardo Oliva, Concierge.
Ulrich Edwards, Concierge Assistant.
We've got you.
Linda Anderson, Cafe Owner.
Ioana Georgiou, Junior Sous Chef.
Nuno Pinto, Bartender.
Mark Black, Head Porter.
Andrea Demir, Receptionist.
We've got you.
Aaron Dixon, Apprentice Chef.
Federica Pinna, Pastry Chef.
Sabino Mazzone, Pastry Chef.
Himari Bochkay, Barista Supervisor.
We've got you. Shom Maharjan, Sushi Head Chef.
Mitchell Collier, Duty Manager.
Anna Grabczewska, Public Area Cleaner.
Whatever you do in hospitality, isn't it good to know that someone's got your back in case anything goes wrong?
So with no further ado, let's welcome to the Northern Virtual Food and Drink Festival, Mr. Chef Dave Critchley.
How are we doing? You okay?
Yeah, very well yourself, thank you, Dave.
Fantastic, fantastic. Yeah, just to echo, Hospitality Action doing a fantastic job. Anyone who has been watching so far, please give generously. I know they've helped friends of mine. I'm a big supporter of what they do. So just like your good self said earlier, please support and do what you can for us, okay? So, yeah, how are you doing anyway? It's been a great day so far.
It's been an amazing day so far, and thank you very much for your support as well. It's very, very well appreciated. I know we were having a little bit of a talk off air just a little bit before. Tell us a little bit about what's been going on in your life lately.
Oh, wow, what a mad few weeks. I mean, obviously everyone's felt what's happened, this industry, same as many others, yeah. But I got busy straight away. We set up a new business, which is delivering local independent suppliers goods out across Liverpool. My feet haven't touched the ground since, so I think I'm on about 9 weeks without a day off at the moment. So if I make any mistakes, sorry. Yeah, no, it's been fantastic. Local independent suppliers have come together. We've got them all in one place, like an online supermarket now. They can deliver out across the city, next day deliveries, because our independents are amazing. Fantastic guys. Work the socks off, and it's about time they started getting some recognition for what they can do. So on the other side of that, we created a community project as well called Norsley Kitchen, and that gets out fresh fruit and veg packages to needy families and people who are really struggling as well. So we're managing to help a lot of people at the moment. About 150 families a week we can get out to with these amazing fresh fruit and veg boxes. So yeah, it's been busy. It's been very busy.
Fantastic. So tell us a little bit more about you. Yeah. Tell us a little about Luban, because that's not been open very long, has it? Down in
no. Unfortunately, we were a new opening in November. We had a fantastic November, December, and January, and then obviously things started to kind of fall about February, March, and before we knew it, we were closed again. Incredible project though. Most exciting project I've been part of, I think. I got flown out to China last year in summer and spent some time with some amazing chefs out there, learning all kinds of new tricks, skills, and learning this whole new cuisine that I thought I knew until I went out there, and then everything was just out the window, completely out the window. So we're bringing to Liverpool it's Chinese food, but not as you know it, which is what I like to explain it as to people who aren't really sure. It's from northern China, Tianjin, and the emphasis is very much on fresh ingredients, quality of ingredients. It's almost the Italian philosophy on food, and when you get out there and you see it, it just makes sense straight away. It's very hard to explain, but it's not quite your fried rices and really thick, gloopy sauces that we're used to over in the UK at all. So, yeah, a lot more going on in Chinese cuisine than we're aware of, basically. So, yeah, really interesting, really cool project.
Fantastic. So the dish that you're going to do today for us, is that a dish that you got on the menu at Luban at the moment, or is it just something you're in?
It's got a place in my heart. So this is one of the first dishes I got shown when I went out to China. It's a couple of dishes, to be honest, that we're going to do today. We've got Gulao Pork, which over here we would know as sweet and sour pork, and everyone's like, oh, sweet and sour pork. But you'll just see a few differences to this. It's actually very light. It's actually very fresh. It's not gloopy, it's not heavy, it's not laden with MSG like it is over in this country, and there's not a lot of sauce to it. It's quite nice and tasty, but it will always have a little special place in my heart. It's more of a home-cooked dish that you'd have. Your family would come round over in China and you would serve this as part of a large meal. And it's one of them. If it's not on the table, you're kind of asking, like, where's the Gulao Pork? Do you know what I mean? That's not normal. It's almost like your Sunday roast on a Sunday. It'd be Gulao Pork out there. So pork and pineapple has to go on there. Gulao Pork just means ancient recipe. So it's a really old, traditional, classic dish. With that, we're going to do a little bit of rice. Again, obviously, very simple rice, but we're just going to put some coconut and cardamom flavours through that. So it just pimps it up that little bit more. And then there's a really interesting dish, again, that I'm going to do. It's 5-flavour cucumber. And for me, it sums up everything that I saw out in Tianjin, how simple ingredients work really well and really fresh. So that's what we're going to do. Yeah, I've done some of the prep already because I want to be able to speak to you and tell you about the project. I want to be able to have a gin as well. I've been working all day.
I can see that. Yeah, where's mine?
Yeah, well, it gives us a chance to talk, doesn't it? Yeah, it gives us a chance to talk. And then
we've got a couple of nice comments coming here on the Facebook anyway. So I've got Mark Garner saying he Chinese. Yeah, this guy can really cook and mean Chinese.
Yeah, Mark came round. Nice to see you, Mark. Yeah, Mark came to Luban. He sat on our chef's table and he sampled some of the dishes that we were doing. The kung pao chicken, I think, was a particular favourite with Mark. And obviously, Mark knows his food, and Mark spent some time out in China as well. So he really understood what we were doing and kind of got it straight away. So yeah, thanks, Mark. Nice to see you.
Said your sweet and sour is genius. So should we get into this?
Yes.
There we go. I'll disappear behind the scenes, and you can take some stage. Okay, so what we're going to do first, we'll start with the cucumber dish. This is really clever, really interesting. So I got out to China on the first day. I went to the college out there, which we had partnered with. So Luban is partnered with a college out in China. And I was thrown in at the deep end, given this cucumber, given one of these. And on live Chinese television was basically told to crack on. Thought for a minute I might lose my fingers, but anyway, we got through it, and it's fine. But yeah, it's a really interesting dish. Just going to take the tops and the bottom off the cucumber. Cucumber in half again, so we get these nice quarters. And yeah, I'm just going to scoop out the seeds. We don't really want the seeds in this. Just tell me if I step off the camera too much, okay? I'm not used to this cooking at home, Lark, so... No, you're good there.
What I'm going to do is just take out these seeds with the very tip of the spoon. Like I said, this is a really interesting dish, and it kind of just, as one of the first things that I ate when I got to China, really kind of made me sit up and go, well, what is this? What is this style of food? You think you know it from all the Chinese takeaways and whatever else. But similar in other cuisine styles, when you actually delve into it, it is far more than what we think it is. So, yeah, I was quite surprised by freshness of ingredients, emphasis on quality of ingredients. Everything had to be at the very best. But these were top chefs I was working with. Master Wu, in fact, he was the head of the college and had been at that college for 40 years. And we got driven around Tianjin in this presidential car, which was amazing. What an experience that was. And we went to all these incredible restaurants because he wanted to show me. Pretty much every head chef that we met along the way had been trained by Master Wu. And that was incredible. The kind of respect that he was shown across that city was amazing for what he knew and what he did, and for his profession and his craft. It'd be quite nice if we got that kind of that kind of response over in the UK. But no, absolutely genius guy. Spent decades developing this style of food, and what a great guy he was. But right, okay, I've scooped out.
But you not think the Chinese themselves are a very kind of dedicated and kind of honest, straight down the line race themselves?
Yeah.
They spend years honing the skills, don't they? And they, you know, what I mean, they'll spend years like cutting a cucumber because they want to get it perfect.
Yeah, well, massively so. It's revered in the same way as the kind of martial arts and painters and architects. It's that level of skill. So when you reach master, you truly are recognised as a master of your skill, and that's really nice to know. I must have made some kind of impression on him because I came home, and a few months later, I was invited back to China to become officially Master Wu's apprentice, which, as far as I'm aware, is the first time that's happened with a Westerner to a Chinese master chef out in China. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I couldn't see anywhere else that had happened before. So what an amazing honour to have. So I will be Master Wu's final apprentice, which also means that all his work over the years will filter its way down to me now, and it'll be up to me to kind of continue his legacy, but over in the UK. So really interesting project ahead for me. Right, guys, I've just started to bat on these, okay? Just into nice little strips. These can be quite chunky. And I'm going to put them into this bowl here. Yeah, and this is one of the dishes on the menu at Luban. And it was one of those dishes that everyone kind of looked at and thought, you'll never order cucumber if you go out to eat. Why would you order cucumber? But everyone who's tried it has been quite pleasantly surprised. And that's just down to, again, the simplicity of the ingredients and how the flavour and texture of this cucumber is going to change shortly with just a few simple ingredients. I'm literally, hope you can see, I'm just battening all of them up. It was quite important that they were all the same length and same size. They got quite handy with one of these, which is amazing, and now I only use this for absolutely everything. So
I was just about to ask the question of, did it take a little while to become accustomed to using Chinese style knife rather than our traditional like French or English knives?
I'd say it felt okay. They first thrust it into my hand, and I did okay on national television in China because I was terrified of losing my fingertips in front of millions of people. And it was fine in terms of it still acts the same as a normal knife. I still hold it the same way I'd hold a normal knife, and the balance is really nice. They're actually a lot lighter than you'd imagine. It's not like a British meat cleaver. It's far lighter. It's really dainty, and the Chinese chefs will use all different parts of the blade for different purposes. So the tips are used for really delicate things, and you should see what these guys can do with these. It's absolutely insane. But yeah, I've picked it up, I think. I mean, one of the main benefits is you can just pick things up, move them around. That means the actual hand contact on the food is actually quite restricted, so it's more about moving it around with that knife. But anyway, okay, so
it's a multi-purpose utensil rather than just a knife.
Oh, definitely, yeah. But I'd certainly suggest even chefs over here would have one of them in the locker, basically, because you can use that for everything. Right, onto the scales. The first thing we're going to do with this is add some salt to it, okay? We know salt is going to take out some of the moisture, which is fantastic. That's what we want from this. And it will change the texture of the cucumber. And you'll see all that happen anyway. So first and foremost, we're going to put about 8 grams of salt in there, which seems a lot, but trust me, I've got on the scales 3, 6, 7, 8 grams. And we're just going to toss this around. We want that salt to go kind of all over. And what we'll do with this is go and leave it in the fridge for a while we crack on with some other bits. And we're just going to let that salt do what it's going to do, basically, which you'll see later. It'll change the texture of the cucumber. It's going to remove some of the moisture from it as well. It almost goes a bit more translucent as well, so you'll see a change in the texture and in the appearance of the cucumber. So that's going to go in the fridge now. Ideally, you want an hour on this, but we're going to do it in half an hour, okay, because of the time. And it'll still be fantastic. So I'm just going to pop this in the fridge.
So this is quite good for people out there that think that we kind of not necessarily just throw these dishes together, but the thought process that goes behind them, salting the cucumber to remove the excess moisture from there and intensify the cucumber flavour and so on and so forth is an art, really, at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah, what I did notice was everything had a purpose, everything had a reason, and the master chefs would explain to you everything, every little element. This adds this. This part is good for your body. This part is good for this, and it all makes sense. So, yeah, it was an incredible experience, and I would have been back out in China, obviously, had not everything else happened in the last few months. But very much looking forward to getting back out there and experience everything again. People shouldn't be afraid of the Chinese or the Chinese culture or Chinese food. You're certainly not going to catch diseases from Chinese food when it's cooked right like this. So, well, hopefully like this. We'll see how we get on. Right, okay, cucumbers in. We'll get the rest of the ingredients ready for the cucumber dish. So, it's called 5 flavour cucumber. And the master chef of cold dishes out there, Master Yu, they specialise in cold dishes, hot dishes, pastry, and all kinds of different levels of food. So, but this chef taught me this dish, and this was his signature dish, and it was fantastic. So, we've got here some shiitake mushrooms. Now, these I purchased dry, and the reason I use the dry rather than fresh is you get a far more intense flavour. So, when we're drying out that mushroom, it really enforces that flavour of shiitake. And all I've done with them is rehydrate them in a little bit of master stock. Now, you can just use water. Essential Cuisine now do a fantastic master stock. Or if you're weird like me and really into Chinese food, you've got your own master stock that sits in your fridge. But yeah, not many people are going to have that. But yeah, Essential Cuisine do a great one. Fantastic. Just use that. A little spoon of that, some hot water, and rehydrate it. If you don't have that, just hot water. The flavour's some enough, so you're going to get all that flavour out of the mushrooms.
Just explain to us a little bit there, Dave. What's a master stock? What goes into your master stock?
Okay, so imagine, I suppose the equivalent would be over here, like a really nice bone broth. You're going to roast bones off. There's going to be some vegetables in there as well that are being roasted off. And then there's all kinds of aromats. So your classic Chinese aromats are going to be dried chili, star anise, and flavours like that, really. Yeah, there's a little bit of bay in there as well. And the good thing about it is it builds and builds and builds. Every time you use it, it kind of just gets better and more powerful. It's really nice and tasty. So, but all you're doing is just infusing that mushroom with more flavour. All we'll do, we probably only need 3 or 4 of these. And we're going to take out stalk. It's probably the hardest bit. The rest is really nice and tender. That's quite tough. So the Chinese would do, again, using the flat of the blade. So this is some of the purpose. It hit it, and it flattens it down. And then we can just slice out the stalk really easily. I think it's called a stalk. Is that what it's called? Stalk.
Yeah, I think that's the centre of the centre of mushrooms called the stalk, isn't it? I guess. Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
It is
We
now.
flatten it down now, and the purpose for that means that when we slice this, we're going to get really even slices. So obviously, a normal shape of a mushroom is quite domed, but now we've flattened them down. You get these even slices, and again, that attention to detail quite caught me out when I was out there. I was like, oh wow, that's the level of detail we've gone into. We want every slice to be exactly the same. I'm really thinly chopping this as well, really fine. I said we'll do this 2 or 3. You get quite a lot off one mushroom, so that's what we've got so far. Really fine mushroom. Yeah, we'll do that a couple of times. I'll pop that in. Same again. But yeah, what a fantastic experience. And obviously, things are a bit odd at the moment. But if you ever get the chance to go to China, wow, what a place. What a place. So I've been to America, and I thought that was big. I thought the supermarkets were big. China's whole next level. Everything is 20 times bigger than it is in the UK. So your highways or motorways are like 7 lanes each. It's just insane. It's just like completely takes your breath away. And the level of technology they have over there, it just makes me feel how far behind we actually are when you go to China and see. Okay, mushrooms done. Okay, to build the rest of this dish, we need some red chili. Now this is going to go in raw, so we've got to be really careful and see how powerful they are. We're going to take the end of the chili off. We don't want the seeds. It's going to be too much. It's going to overpower. We're probably only going to use half of this, so I'll chop them in half. Okay, we'll save that. Use that for something else later. You can go in your master stock, for example. Split them down.
So I've just got a question here, Dave. I'm not going to interrupt, but we've got Dave Evans wanting to know what your favourite dish is.
Oh, my favourite dish of all time ever. I always find this really hard to answer. That's really hard. I would say a really good roast dinner is probably my favourite dish. It's really comforting. It takes me back. It's very nostalgic for me. Sitting around a table with my family, my mum and dad, my brother and sister. Sundays were so important to our family. It was the one day that we could all get together. My dad would be off work. So I think because of all those reasons, yeah, I think Sunday roast. And my first job actually was in a carvery at the age of 15, just washing the dishes. And that's where I started to see and watch and see what the chefs were doing. And that's what made me begin this journey, as it were. So I'm going to say roast dinner. And I know that's not Chinese, but the Chinese are fantastic at roasting meat, by the way. So, yeah. Chilies now, I just whipped the seeds out. I think you saw that, hopefully. And then again, really fine slices. There's nothing worse than getting a big mouthful of raw chili. So, again, we're going to flatten them down. A lot of banging, isn't it? But, yeah, that's what the kitchens were like out in China. And then we're just trying to get this as fine as we can get it.
This is where the Chinese knife skills come into it as well, isn't it? Everything being an exact size and precise size. Just so you get the same amount of flavour out of each bite of it, rather than it being a big chunk of this and a small chunk of that.
That's exactly it. So each mouthful wants to be, we're going to have the cucumber in there, there's going to be a little bit of chilli, there's going to be a bit of ginger, there's going to be a bit of mushroom, and that all together creates that little dish. So, yeah, really nice and thin. But yeah, we were doing really good. I felt we were just starting to kind of win the public of Liverpool round. Now Liverpool's got a massive Chinese culture and a big history with China. got the oldest Chinese community in Europe. We've got the biggest Chinese arch and one of the largest Chinese communities in Europe still. So Chinese food has been quite synonymous with Liverpool over the years. We are obviously turning up with something new. It's not quite what everyone expected, maybe. But I think we did it the right way. We spoke to the Chinese community, we invited them in, we told them what we were doing, and we had their blessing, and they came to our opening, and we had the lions, and we had the dragons, and we had the blessings of the Chinese community, and it was awesome, and it was cool. It was really cool. And then when we do Chinese New Year, that's amazing as well. We have fireworks at the restaurant, we have all kinds of parties, the lions come back, traditional lion dance, fantastic. So we really embraced the Chinese culture. We didn't just want to show up and say, right, look, here's a white guy doing Chinese food, you know what I mean? I really wanted to take on that Chinese culture, and that's why it was such an exciting project for me to do. So, ginger, quickest way, the best way, spoon rather than a peeler. Let's whip that skin off.
So do you get the Chinese community eating in Luban now, as in like regular customers?
Yeah, well, obviously not right now, but
obviously not now, yeah.
I'd have something to say if there's people in there now, but no, they did come and they gave us our support and they told us how good it was. We've had Chinese people coming in and saying, this reminds me of my mother's cooking back at home, which is surely the greatest compliment we could have been given, because it meant that we were actually doing things traditionally and properly. So yeah, I'm really happy. So ginger, again, we're going to get real nice thin slices, and then what we'll do is come back and almost julienne really thin slivers of ginger. Because it's raw, again, it can be overpowering, but if we keep it quite small, we'll keep that.
So we've got a question coming in here, Dave from Paul Sherrington, who's my brother, believe it or not. Where would you buy a good cleaver from? Where in this country can we get a good cleaver?
Right, so your first obvious stop is Chinese supermarkets, and there'll probably be a range in there, and they'll start at about 7-8 quid, and they'll kind of go up to 20 quid. A £20 one's actually pretty decent, to be fair. I was using Chinese supermarket cleavers for the first couple of months while I was just getting the feel of it and learning how to use it. And then I had a fantastic gift from our company over in China, our sister company almost. And they sent over these Chinese ones, Damascus steel, absolutely stunning. By the way, I love these knives, I really do. But yeah, easily start off in a Chinese supermarket and just aim for about £20. Anything under that is probably all right, but it probably won't last too long. So, as I said, I've got these really thin bits of ginger. Okay.
That's a really good tip, actually, going to a Chinese supermarket for a Chinese item, because I mean, there's lots of companies over in this country at the moment that are selling Damascus knives and Chinese and Japanese this, and they'll charge you £200 or £300 for one. But go to an authentic Chinese supermarket and you can pick one up for, like, say, £20, and it'll do a good job.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there is Chinese companies that will import them for you, and yeah, you can save a fair bit of money. So I know Damascus steel over in China, it is the right grade. It's absolutely banging. It's on point, but you're not paying hundreds of pounds for one blade. Definitely not. So, right, all that is ready. I am just going to put that into a bowl for now, and that dish just needs all bringing back later. I'm just going to keep these separate in here, and then just wash my hands thoroughly because I've had chilies on them. I'll just give this board a quick wipe over as well.
So Chinese food, would you say, Dave, is kind of, it's all about the preparation, it's all about the marinade, and it's all about the kind of taking time and the love that you've got with the food to kind of make sure that you bring it to life the best way that the Chinese do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was very accurate. It was very precise what we saw over there. And like I said, I just wasn't ready for that. You think you know, and you think everything's just thrown together, and it really isn't. So I'll move on to pork now, okay? I've not done this in a kitchen, a home kitchen before, so hopefully it'll be all right. Normally, you would use a wok and quite deep in oil. They have various grades of frying, in a shallow fry, medium fry, and deep fry, and it's all done in a wok, which is quite scary. Unless you're skilled in that, I'd highly recommend just doing that in a normal fryer. Even in restaurants, at Luban, we decided we weren't going to do the whole woks half full with oil. It's just too risky. So, but what we're going to do here is almost a bit more of a shallow fry. Okay, I don't have a chip fryer or anything like that. So, the pork has just been sat. Well, since we started, really, with a bit of Shaoxing wine on it. Okay, that's a cooking wine. If you don't have that at home, something like a sherry or something like that will probably work. Even I was going to say sake. Yeah, sake would work as well. Obviously, that's another Asian ingredient. But yeah, if you don't have that, don't worry so much. It just adds a little bit of tenderness to the meat and adds a bit more flavour.
More of a fortified wine, really, so the alcohol actually gets in there and starts breaking down some of the protein.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just realised I've used my bowl. I need that. So, right, we're going to make a batter. If you remember your sweet and sour pork that you get from a Chinese restaurant, it has a crunchy batter around the outside, and there's a little bit of sauce in there. In fact, there's a lot of sauce in British Chinese food, but if you think about it, if you're eating with chopsticks, what are you going to do with all that sauce? So one thing I did notice over there was things were a lot drier. There was a lot less sauce, which kind of makes sense, really, doesn't it? So the main ingredients in the batter is our corn flour, the cornstarch. We're going to need about 40 grams.
I think English Chinese food has been very much designed for the English palate, really, hasn't it? Like, say, the sauces are more like gravy and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of been what you will get authentically in China isn't what you get authentically over here in Chinese takeaways.
No, definitely, yeah. I mean, I think everyone would be the first to admit that. But, yeah, a lot of the Chinese, the first settlers, especially in Liverpool, who came here, actually started with laundrettes. And it's very cliche, but that's when he first came here, but realised it was so hard that he started opening restaurants. And that laundry must have been bloody hard if you decided a restaurant was the easiest way to go after that. Right, 12 grams of flour. Mainly corn flour, but a little bit of flour in there as well. And yeah, so they started by cooking their traditional home-cooked dishes, but really quickly realised that the British palate was far more. We need more salt, we need more sugar, we need more flavour. A lot of Chinese cuisine is quite light and delicate. Right, we're going to add a tiny bit of baking powder now. And this will just help get us our nice batter. It's probably about 2 grams, that's plenty. And then we're going to put a little bit of salt. And interestingly enough, the recipe I saw out in China used the dried cheese powder as well. But it's
sounds very interesting. What did that bring to it? What did dry cheese do?
Just almost another umami-ness, another savoury element into the batter. I was going to say it's locked down and I don't have any cheese powder. But it's actually something that we decided at Luban to keep out of the recipe, and we added a few bits and pieces and made our own Luban tweaks. So although we kept the traditional recipes there, we did make tweaks for certain reasons. Without bastardizing it, basically, and without changing it too much. Okay, in the batter there. This is one of the tweaks we made. In our batter, we just used a little tiny bit of gin as well.
Nice, like it.
Yeah, one for me. No, so a little splash of gin. And this gin's been made especially for us by the gin smiths of Liverpool, and it uses some Asian ingredients as well. We've got there's pear, there's angelica, and it's really tasty. A little bit of citrus hit in there as well. And what goes better with gin and a little bit of tonic as well. So in the batter, we're going to make a little bit of tonic water.
The Chinese actually quite enjoy their alcohol as well, don't they?
Oh, very much so, yeah. I was quite drunk every night because it was rude not to drink with the host, and our host was Master Wu, who has decades of drinking experience behind him, and he was such a great character. I've learned so much from working with Master Wu. So we've got a nice batter now. Got a little bit of oil on the heat now. This gets fried twice. So the first heat is not really intense. It's probably around about 150 first. And then later on it gets a hit with 180 degrees.
So the first one you're almost blanching to cook the pork, and then the next
one. Yeah, we blanch first and foremost, which is a little bit slower. Later on, we're going to add some pineapple and peppers and give it a high heat, the 180 degrees, just for a few seconds really, and it just kind of gets that crispiness.
So if any of you guys out there in Facebook land have got any more questions for Dave, keep them coming.
Please don't. I'm trying to concentrate. No, just joking. Fire away. Pork's into the batter. We're probably best doing this a few pieces at a time. You don't want to overpower that pan or overcrowd it. And this is the delicate bit. You've got to be careful now, okay? This is hot oil we're dealing with, guys. So, yeah, just be really careful. Seen a few horrendous burns in my career, so I've just added a bit more corn flour if it looks like it needs it. But it is a little bit gloopy. That's what it's meant to be for now. But that will get us our nice crispy pork later on, okay? So what I didn't mention as well is I saved the stock from the mushrooms, and I've used that to cook my rice in as well. So I've got a pan of rice that is 90% cooked, and I've used that master stock with the mushroom flavour in, and that's going to add real nice flavour to a regularly normal rice. Can be quite bland, so we've got all those flavours from the master stock and from the shiitake mushroom in there as well. But yeah, real good coating on this. I'm just going to try one piece, see if our oil's ready. Yeah, more than ready. It's boiling away there. So I'm just going to turn them down. And we'll get a few pieces in, which will kind of naturally cool down the oil anyway.
So when we get through the back of this, Dave, would you be prepared to just give us the recipes for these dishes so we can put a book together and hopefully sell it to get a little bit more money together for Hospitality Action?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. These are great dishes, classic, traditional. So, yeah, more than happy to do that. I'll try and get them up later as well so people can see what we're doing there. Right, I'm just going to pop these out. We've got a golden brown kind of colour around the outside. Going to pop them out. Smells great already. The Shaoxing wine that we've used just has its own kind of unique flavour. We've got these really nice crispy bits of pork already. It's not taken long at all. Like I said, this is the very really careful doing this, so I'm alright. I seem to have asbestos hands now after all these years, so but yeah,
we all get those, don't we? We all get kind of the cuts and burns and the bruises and stuff like that from being in a kitchen for so long, and it just becomes natural now. And some chefs are quite masochistic, actually, really, and quite enjoy a good burn or a good cut, don't they?
Makes us feel alive. Yeah, but no, not far wrong. We've got this. Yeah, they've cooked really quick, actually, because I've kept them quite small, and I'm just trading them off on some kitchen paper because we don't want that excess oil in there. I'm just scooping the oil over the top to make sure we're getting a nice crunchy batter all the way around. This is the hard bit, really. Everything else is almost ready now. So, how are we doing for time? 35 minutes?
Yeah, we're doing well. Don't worry, loads of time. We've got a good 20 minutes left.
I was going to say, what time did you cut me off?
When the electric meter runs out.
Okay, fair enough.
Don't worry, it's only Sean on after you, so don't worry. We've got plenty of time.
Yeah. No, it has been a fantastic day, guys. So really, really well done for putting this together. He's done great, that's Sean. As soon as he messaged me and said, do you want to be part of it? I was just like, well, yeah, obviously. Certainly something I want to be part of and help along. So
this is what I've mentioned in quite a few of the other demonstrations that I've been in the background of. It's just an amazing thing to do. We are a brotherhood of chefs at the end of the day, aren't we? And even though we're all in competition trying to get bums on seats at the end of the day in our own restaurants, we all come together when needed to be able to put on something like this.
And to make something work. And if anything that's happened over the last few weeks has taught me, it is together everyone can achieve more. So we've seen that with all the community projects going on. I've seen that with working with all our local independent suppliers who are fantastic guys and work their absolute socks off. But together we've created this, well, it's a supermarket. It's an online independent supermarket is exactly what it is. But we've managed to achieve what the supermarkets couldn't do, which was keep stock on the shelves, keep people fed, deliver next day, and that's all just power of people. And on our site now, you can contribute and pay things forward to other people. So we said before, we're helping all these families as well. So yeah, massively so. People have come together and are achieving a lot more at the moment. So long may that continue. It's really interesting enough. There's a huge chefing community in China. So every person I got introduced to, who was one of Master Wu's previous apprentices, he then considered me his brother because I was now an apprentice of Master Wu, and very much so. So we've got a massive family now. We've got the Chinese family, and they message me quite often to see how we're getting on, make sure we're okay, and it's a real family community feel. So yeah, it's nice. It's nice to feel part of that. So it'd be fantastic if we could take a leaf out of that book as well. And projects like this food festival, we're on the way. We're on the way. Like you said, the chefs have come together. It's something we're doing together. It's been really nice. So yeah, thank you, Sean. Thank you, everyone who's come together to do this. Really nice and really interesting. Breath of fresh air.
I've just got Sean in his studio, just getting himself ready now in the background. So yeah, if I don't talk to you very much, I'm just communicating with him as well. So
thank you, Sean. That's all right. I like the sound of my own voice. Apparently, that's what I'm told quite often. So the pork's almost ready. We're going to take that out. We'll prepare a little bit of pineapple and some peppers. And the sauce that we're going to add to it is really simple. And I see all these recipes online, and it's like ketchup and this and that, and it's just like, it doesn't need to be that. So it's really quite simple. You just want some tomato passata, really, or even at home, if you just got chopped tomatoes, blend that down smooth. And it's, yeah, the passata, just with a tiny bit of vinegar and sugar. Effectively, sweet and sour effectively is sugar and acid or vinegar. So your sweet and sour actually comes from sugar and vinegar, and that's used quite a lot in Chinese cuisine. Okay, let's get some peppers on the go. The dish I saw out in China had only a very small amount of peppers in there, and that was mainly to add a different texture and some colour to the dish. So We don't need to go mad here. I'd probably pour half of a pepper, half a green and half a red. It's going to be absolutely fine. Again, I'm just trying to chop the cheeks off the side of the pepper. You flatten them down. You level them off. And we're just going to do almost rectangles. Yeah. Square them off. And then rectangles. Like we said, this dish 100% be served at home when the family comes round. I just really like that. I love that community aspect. That family that's sitting around the table together. And food is massive, massive in the culture of China. Massively respected. And yeah, it's certainly part of the culture out there. Pineapple. We're going to go take the top off and 2 big, thick chunks of it, really. Take the outside off. Yeah, tidy that all up. Really missing my KPs. Keep saying this every time I do any kind of cooking. The kitchen is horrendous afterwards. Is that just me, or there's all the other chefs out there like to use absolutely everything you've got at your disposal? But don't take your KPs for granted, guys, because I really miss mine now. Okay, pineapple's gone into quite big chunks, okay? Remove that hard bit in the centre. That's not going to be pleasant. But it can be quite chunky, this. You want it similar size to your pieces of pork, okay? Okay, take the outsides off, remove that. Nice chunky bits, remove the hard centre. Okay, pineapple is ready, peppers are ready. Okay, a cucumber is ready to come out of the fridge now. I've got to show you this because this is what it's done. Let's find a bowl. The amount of liquid that this is sucked out of the cucumber is quite substantial, okay? So that's what that salt has done. Let's get rid of that. Squeeze out the cucumbers, get rid of all that excess moisture, okay? Now obviously that's just going to taste like salt at the moment, so we need to balance that off. We're going to use some sugar. You can find it, there we go. Obviously the sweet is going to balance off the salt. And I'm looking for 2 to 2.5 times what we put in salt, which was 8 grams, wasn't it? So we're going close to 20 grams here, which seems a lot, but again, trust me. There's 12. That's 20. And again, just let this sit in there. I'm going to move that around. Just going to turn the oil down before I set the house on fire. Let the cucumbers suck that sugar in, okay? That's going to balance off the salt now. Remember we said earlier, everything has a purpose, everything does something. So we've got the texture we want from the cucumber. The sugar's going to balance out the salt. We've got our other ingredients in here. Remember our mushroom, ginger, chilli. That's what punches all the flavours now. So we're going to put that in. And yeah, give that a good mix up. Remember, every mouthful wants to have a little bit of everything, so we're going to mix that all up, mix that all up. Now, because we've got raw ingredients in there, raw ginger, raw chilli, need something that's just going to soften that off a little bit. Wash my hands very quickly. Sing happy birthday. That balancing agent is going to be rice vinegar. Okay, so remember, rice vinegar gets used very often with sugar. You get that sweet and sourness. So I've gone with about 25 mils. Okay, 2.5 dessertspoons. And I'm going to let that sit there just out at room temperature while we get everything else ready. Our oil, quite hot at the moment. I'll turn them up now. Like I said before, we're probably up in the region of kind of 180 degrees now. It's a lot hotter than it was before. We need to just really quickly go in with the pineapple, quickly go in with the peppers, and then take them out. This is just going to be really careful here, guys, okay? So you do have a water content in both of those, so be careful with the hot oil. That's ever so slightly going to cook on the outside of those ingredients. Don't worry, we're nearly there now. Scoop them back out. Scoop them back out. Again, I'll just emphasize, if you're not comfortable using this technique with oil, just don't do it. It's not worth the pains. Right, the rest of those can go in. We're almost ready to build everything now into the wok, okay? So we're going into the wok with our sauce. What we said before, it's just a little bit of tomato passata. Far less than I reckon you would imagine, okay? A lot drier. Peppers are just getting a little tiny bit of a singe around them, softening ever so slightly, but we still want them a bit al dente, a bit to the bite. Oh, it's getting warm. It's getting very warm. I miss my kitchen. We'll be back soon.
I think every chef's missing their kitchen at the moment.
Yeah, that's why I like to get my whites every now and then. It's just that, feels nice, feels natural.
It does. I said to Brian earlier when I was doing my demonstration, we're like the men in black at the end of the day. This is the first and last thing we'll ever wear and what we feel most comfortable in.
Yeah, it's just, we feel safe in all whites. Like I said, it's just to take a little bit of that rawness off this. Okay, well that's there. We're going to leave that oil on for 1 second because we still want to blast that pork one last time. Our rice, I said, was almost ready. I'm just going to put that back on the heat and very gently switch them on. Very gently just warming through. Whew. We're almost there. We're almost there. Right, so yeah, pork needs to be done in batches again. We want it to be nice and crispy. Checking that oil is right. Rice is on. What I also did, blue pizza style, something I made earlier. Desiccated coconut. I just toasted some of this off, and I just put a teaspoon of cardamom through it as well, powdered cardamom. And that's just going to give you a real nice aroma. It's okay. So absolutely beautiful flavour in that rice. So it isn't just the normal plain boiled rice. You've got all the flavour from the master stock, all the flavour from the shiitakes, and you've got that incredible coconut cardamom spice coming through there.
I can almost smell that, Dave. Actually, I love cardamom.
Oh, I thought that might have been me sweating under the pressure. But, right, okay. My wok is going to go on now. Quick tidy up. Cucumber salad is ready. This is 5 flavoured cucumber. Where are you? You're here. While I'm waiting for that pork just to flash through again, this would be stacked up. Excuse fingers because I think we're rushing against time now. Got a few more minutes left. this would be stacked up quite high, really nice, with all those bits kind of running through it. Yeah, you've got all these beautiful flavours in there. The mushroom is very kind of savoury and umami. You've got that spice kick from the chili.
This is the word. It's not been bandied about much lately, but the umami. I think that's kind of a very almost oriental flavour, isn't it? With like the fifth flavour of kind of the savoury style of thing.
Yeah, it's definitely referred to quite a lot in Asian and Oriental cooking. The savoury element in there. Okay, and that is that really. It's absolutely beautiful. You have to taste this to believe it. If you can think of a really nice cucumber pickle, but you've got all these hits of chili, ginger, the shiitake mushrooms, and that's ready now. You go and put that on the table. That's going to sit in the middle of the table. Chinese cuisine would often come out. Lots of plates would just arrive at the table. It was like tapas, but like big plates, and everyone just scoops in and takes what you like. So we're going to put that in there.
So is that the idea of these like lazy Susans where everything just gets put in the middle and you spin it round to yourself and you take one off and put it back?
Yeah, so, yeah, exactly what you fancy. You spin the table around. So, and again, the culture behind that as well. Everything has a purpose. Everything has a reason. There's culture behind everything in Chinese cuisine. So where you sit in a room is basically a status symbol. And I used to sit directly facing Master Wu because he was my host. He would sit closest to the door because he was the host, so he could get the attention of the waitresses and waiters and whatever else. And his esteemed guest, which for some reason that was me. I've never been an esteemed guest, but I was there. Was certainly treated like royalty out there. I was the esteemed guest, and I would be sat opposite him. Okay, so now I'm just crisping off this pork again. The rice is nice and warm, so what we'll do is just fold through our coconuts and cardamom. Remember, I cooked that rice previously just to save us a bit of time, but my perfect recipe is kind of 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of water, with a lid on, and just let it steam in there. So you get these really nice soft rice. It's not gloopy, it's not sticky. Oh, it smells incredible. That's beautiful. That's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, be really careful with the pork. Once it's nice and crispy, you can go into our pan, into the wok. We'll go in, last one. We'll go in with the peppers and pineapples. Then we'll go in with our tomato passata, which has a little bit, remember, of the vinegar and sugar, which is where the sweet and sour flavours come from. Pretty much there now. Another 2 minutes and we're all done. Yeah, so rice is ready. Might as well put these in. Switch the wok on now. In China, the woks are huge, absolutely gigantic, and the guys are just tossing these massive woks. They really fit out there, the Chinese chefs. They have to be.
So I've just got a question coming from Dave Evans. What's the best water to rice ratio?
I said I've always used, well, most recently I've always used 2 to 1. So 1 part rice, 2 parts water. If you're doing it by absorption, which just you can just leave it and just let the water go. As soon as all the water's gone, the rice is cooked perfectly. Okay, I'm going to take the last of the pork out and take this oil off the heat now. There's quite a lot here, so I hope the wife's hungry.
I think there's going to be a lot of people very well fed today in the background, isn't there?
Yeah, I'm going to move that to the back so I can bring this forward and show you what we do with this. Okay, really nice and crunchy. That's all the sauce we're going to need. It's just a little coating, okay? And all we're going to do is really quickly toss it. And we're ready. It's all done. It's all ready. Just going to find a nice plate now. And again, big plate. This would go in the centre of the table. We've got that really nice crispy pork. Should be nice and soft and tender inside now because of that Shaoxing marinade we put on it to begin with. You've got these beautiful chunks of pineapple in there, which is going to bring a really nice kind of sweetness to the party. The peppers offer a nice different texture. And a lot of it's about colour as well, so there's a lot more attention to detail, at least on the presentation of Chinese dishes than we give them credit for. But again, no, there's nothing on that dish. It doesn't need to be there. Micro herbs, coriander, no. Raw chilies and spring onions chucked on the top. Again, no, don't do it. All you're doing is bringing to the party a raw ingredient as a garnish. Makes no sense. Okay. Gulao pork, sweet and sour. Absolutely beautiful. Really nice, crunchy, very light. Notice how light it is. There's not all this sauce slopping around everywhere. I'm going to put that over here. Looks like my 5-year-old's going to make a surprise appearance. Guess, chef. What's on, Joshua? What you want, mate?
Food's out.
You're stitching me up. You nearly had fish finger and waffles as my dish before, so consider yourselves lucky.
I'm sure whatever you do,
we've got, we've got this beautiful coconut, cardamom, rice. I don't know what to say. It just smells stunning in here. The whole kitchen's full of like that cardamom smell. And look, it's not sticky, gloopy. It's very light.
So do you wash your rice before you cook it?
Yes. So we wash the starch off. And that is part of the key factors of not making it all sticky and gloopy. Come out the way, you trouble. What you want? What you after? He's upstaging me again. Always. Never get a moment's peace. Right, KP, sort this.
Way, though,
guys, that's us. That is a really classic Gulao pork. We've got coconut and cardamom rice. We've got the 5 flavour cucumber, and that would all be banged out in the middle of the table. And you just share, pass it around the table. It's a massive, important part of Chinese culture is sharing that food all together. Really traditional recipe. Chinese food, but not as you know it. Yes, the so-called sweet and sour pork. Yes, you'd expect to see that in Chinese restaurants, but when it's done right, it's really nice. It's really crunchy. It's all about textures, flavors, and contrast, really. So, guys, that's me. I'm gonna lie down for a while, I think.
You put yourself another nice big gin there, Dave. Well done.
I think so, yeah. Well, I've got all the dishes to do first, unfortunately, and you don't even want to see what it looks like over here. So, yeah.
Well, I think we've all had a fantastic education in Chinese cookery today. I'm from a Chinese master apprentice.
Thank you very much, and yeah, hopefully, guys, keep following Hospitality Action, keep supporting. Guys, you've done an amazing job on the food festival, and thanks for letting me be part of it and telling you a little bit about Luban and a little bit about Chinese culture. Hopefully, I've brought to the party as well. So, thank you very much. And as I say in China, ganbai. Ganbai.
So let's just hear another little bit more from our friends at Hospitality Action, just to finish this little segment off. Thank you very much, Dave, and look forward to seeing you again very soon.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thank you very much.
Ollie Hoyle, catering manager.
Peter Molar, doorman.
Ricardo Oliva, concierge.
Ulrich Edwards, concierge assistant.
We've got you.
Linda Anderson, cafe owner.
Ioana Georgiou, junior sous chef.
Nuno Pinto,
bartender. Mark Black, head porter.
Andrea Demir, receptionist.
We've got you.
Aaron Dixon, apprentice chef.
Federica Pinna, pastry chef.
Sabino Mazzone, pastry chef.
Himary Birchkey, barista supervisor.
We've got you. Shwam Maharjan, Sushi Head Chef.
Mitchell Collier, Duty Manager.
Anna Grabczewska, Publiceria Cleaner.
Whatever you do in hospitality, isn't it good to know that someone's got your back in case anything goes wrong?